Oh my god, Dino Doomy. The timing was so good. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Congrats on being a first. Hello everyone as well who is also here. Words are a struggle, you know? Sometimes you just start stream and you've already forgotten how to speak before you've even started. And that's just how it is. But how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Everyone else who's lurking. Thanks for lurking. Hope you're doing well. It's been 5 seconds. I'm fine. I'm fine. I am fine. I'm gonna take a drink so that I can reset.
This is the part where you're supposed to laugh.
Hi Harris. How are you? Hope you're also doing well. Welcome in. Fudging little son is so funny. Lay, hello. How are you? Hope you're also doing well. Am I? Look, listen, stop, look, listen, think, look before you cross with K, look right, left, everywhere. I don't know if anyone outside of Australia will even understand that. But I know you will, Lay. I hope. I really hope. You should get that. Please. I'm not crazy. How are we doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. I hope we've all had a wonderful week. It is now a Friday for most of us. And it's the weekend. And we should all be very excited and happy. Crimson, oh my god, hello. How are you? Hope you're also well. How are things? I clutched up that battle as Memely. Wait, did I? What do you mean I clutched up as Memely? You mean against... Oh, because I almost died to the meteor, right? Is that what you mean? That was close, but I wasn't bothered. I was so ready for that. Don't even worry about it. May do some shiny hunting. Nice, nice. Which Pokemon are on the agenda for today? 3 seconds. It's fine. I wasn't stressed. It was easy peasy. No concerns. Doing well. Glad to hear it, Crimson. Glad to hear you're doing well. 3 seconds. Easy peasy. Don't even worry. Not even a concern. Not even a concern. I also started a stream and opened up my Final Fantasy like launcher or whatever. And then I saw like post-maintenance notification or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, was there a maintenance? And I checked the time. Maintenance is estimated to have, well, it was scheduled to finish in like 10 minutes from now. So I'm lucky that I didn't start stream and realize that I couldn't play. So that went well. Chingling outbreak. I don't think in my entire life I've ever used a Chimecho? I don't actually know how it's pronounced. I don't think I've ever used one or ever wanted to use one or even had the desire or the thought. Like, I see that Pokemon and unfortunately I just think it's weak. It's pointless. Chimecho, that's what I thought, right? And I was just like, what's the point? Like, I've seen it and I'm like, I could use so many other cool psychic Pokemon that are better. I don't know. You never use one either? That's the thing, like the only time I've ever even owned a Chimecho was when I was doing my living decks in Oras. And I literally only had one for the living decks. Just one less shiny you need. It's so fair, Lay. Did you happen to check out that video? Oh, no, I haven't. I saw that you sent it, but I was working and or getting ready for work. I don't remember when it was, but I haven't looked at it yet. I'm assuming it's one of your Yakuza like Final Fantasy mixed crossover thingamajigs. His base stat total 420. That's my prediction. That's my get. Actually, no, wait. Is that too high? Is that high or low? No, that's low, right? 425. Oh my god, I almost nailed that. But to clarify, when I was like, is that too high? I didn't mean is that like a high amount for Pokemon. I meant is that too high for Chimecho? I was like, if I guessed too, like, if I got too much, no, I was about on it, which is pretty impressive. I know my Pokemon, I say, as I haven't fudging touched Pokemon properly since 6th gen. I used to play a little bit of, I used to do a little bit of competitive team building back in the day. Never actually played competitive, but I looked up stuff. Highest stat is 95 specials. I mean, that's not bad. For the highest stat, it's not good. It's not good if that's the highest. But it's not a bad stat for like let me rephrase that. As a high stat, that's okay. As the highest stat, it's not great. But yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse. We have consent. 65. Oh god, that's so you can't even sweep with it. I've never looked at Chimecho's stats, obviously, because it's trash. But if I was to use a Pokemon that's just a bad Pokemon with a bad stat total, the only reason I would use one is if I think it could be possibly used as like a quick, like maybe not a sweeper, but something that can get in, do a bit of damage before it gets killed. 65 speed and HP. Not even the HP. If it's a weak Pokemon, its HP is going to be inconsequential. 65 speed, you can't even get a move out with that. You could be stuck using bag. You may as well be. What's a Chingling's base stat total? 380. It's almost there. You're right though. You're so right. You may as well just use a baby Pokemon. I don't know. Use a baby Pokemon with a Focus Sash and Endeavor, and it'd be better than a Chimecho. I don't know. We've gotten 10 stats. Only 10. That's ridiculous. If the Aether flows as planned, all that remains is to have the Ironworks engineers do their work at the ruins. Okay, let's go. Yeah, no, look, it kind of sucks because I'm very much of the opinion that Pokemon as a casual game for casual people, you should be encouraged to try out a bunch of different Pokemon and use whatever you want. You should be encouraged to use a fudging Chimecho in a normal playthrough. The problem is everyone knows a Chimecho is bad and you can see how bad it is when you use one, that you will just replace it immediately and then no one will use it. And it's like half the Pokedex is just completely useless, so you never use it. And then the other half of the Pokedex that you want to use has been kicked out with Dexits. 455 it's better, but when it's spread across 3 stats that are completely inconsequential because no one cares about its HP and special defense and defense when they're already that low, it's a meaningless buff. Like, yes, it's a buff, but it's meaningless. I mean, a special defense buff is nice, but 70 to 80 is a defense, and 65 to 75 HP, there's no point to that. You don't buff the weaker stats, you buff the stronger stats. How you beating the Crozma? Rattata, Focus Sash, Endeavor, and Quick Attack. See, you understand. I never played Sun and Moon. Well, I played Sun and Moon, beat the Elite Four or whatever, and then dropped it because I hated the game. And then I never bought Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because I hated Sun and Moon. And now that the 3DS has been discontinued, I'll never play it ever again. Well, again, I still never played it. Not the point. Part of me wishes I did because I heard good things about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I just don't care enough about that whole fudging generation. I just did not like 7th gen. I didn't. I shall begin at once. You may wish to step back. Oh, Tiny Bulb has stepped back already. The Ultra games, see, I've heard good things about the Ultra games. I think the only criticisms I've heard from them is that the cutscenes are far too long and they're unskippable. Which is fair. That's fair. But I just hated Sun and Moon so much, like I actually really disliked Sun and Moon, that I did not want to even touch Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because what's the point? I'll just be playing more of what I don't like. Do I wish I still gave it a go? No. But now that I can't try it because it's been discontinued, now do I want to give it a go? Maybe a little bit. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, let's see Y'shtola. Wait, is it Fudge. Y'shtola? They changed the pronunciation like 2 times, I swear. You'd like to have an auto studio thing, but type-wise it's not worth it. It's so not worth it type-wise, and also it's not worth it. I'm paying twice the amount for the same game, and then having to trade between. So you mean you'd have to have 2 DSs? Sorry, I'm thinking if you want pseudo Pokemon that are like, I was thinking pseudo Pokemon from like both different versions of the game if they're like version exclusive. That's what I was thinking, and I realize now that's not what you meant. That's so fair, Lay. If you need to relax, just relax, you know. Tomorrow will always be there. You can always shiny hunt another time. And who cares about the Chingling anyway, you know? Like, you don't need it. Pretty sure they say, like, yeesh. I have no clue what you mean. Oh, Y'shtola as opposed to Y'shtola. Sorry. I got confused. I got confused because I forgot my own question. I like to say Y'shtola. But, like, yish rather than yeesh.
It did. Ether may flow freely to the burn once more.
And Y'shtola has been changed forever from the Aether that something, I don't know. Going out tomorrow night for dinner? Oh, nice. I hope you enjoy it. You can still do something? Probably can. And if not, there's always the next day. And the next day. The world's not going to end. In this weekend, hopefully. It'd be bad if it did. I know a lot of people like to say, like, live each day as if it's your last. And to an extent, I 100% agree. But you also got to recognize that each day won't be your last. And if you need to take a break or just not do something today because you don't feel like it, it's okay, because there will be a tomorrow. You know? So yeah, because I think... Cool. Only thing I haven't seen are 2 clips in the Samurai Quest line. Well, guess I'm not watching it. And the reason I say that is because on my other character, I am planning on doing every single quest. Like, I don't just mean all the blue quests, I mean every quest in the game. So especially when it's a classed samurai quest, I think I'll hold off until I actually get to the samurai content, which might be a while, but that's the reason why I'm going to hold off. I did not pretend to understand what you did, but you did it. How do you know that? You don't know what she did. She could have failed. She could be lying through her teeth. Thanks to you and Mimely, we've taken a momentous step towards securing our defenses. Much as I believe arrest is in order, we should probably make case back to the Enclave. Oh yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair. The others may have already returned from their missions, and I would like to know how things stand. Yes, without further ado. I almost said adieu, but that's a completely different word, in a completely different language. God, why is this so far away? Why is it 406 gil? Oh, because I'm over here. I was like, that's so much money to go, like, no distance. No distance. Oh my god, this one's so big. Every time. I forget. Hello, guardsman. Does he allow me to go half? What? Okay. Oh, right, you got no. Okay, I'm with you. I think I'm with you. Yeah, no. I did get that. I was just confused by what you mean by each half, and I realized my brain's off. It is like 10 to 7 p.m. on a Friday. I've had a busy week. Things have been happening at work. Nothing you guys need about it. Like work's been working. You know, my brain. I want to turn that off. We've secured a suitable source of energy for the barrier, but no energy for my brain. Tara and I have commissioned Garland Works to ensure the field generators function as they should. Brains are weekend mode. Exactly! As it should be for all of us right now, unless it's like a Friday morning and you still have work because you're in time zone land, in which case, actually you should probably be sleeping because it's probably like fudging midnight or like 3 a.m. Not looking at anyone in particular. You know who you are. Yeah, that makes sense. I get you now, Harris. I get you now. Nearly 4. Yeah, exactly. Not looking at anyone in particular. It's okay. You guys are good. I'm just watching you, you know. Okay, so they're still gonna go to the burn. So we haven't just given up and like retreated. We were like tactically preparing for our way back, I guess. I don't know. Costs in 250. I know. Well, I didn't know the exact time, but I knew generally that places in the US were around 3-ish, right? And that's okay, because that's most of my viewers. And it has to be okay, otherwise everyone disappears. No, I'm kidding. I mean, whatever. You'd probably fall asleep if your friend didn't have their day off. Cool. I'm trying to like process why that makes a difference for it being 3 a.m. now, because the day off would typically be during the day, and I'm like brain weekend mode, not thinking, brain not, you know, might be almost 5 a.m. on your side. Yeah, I think the range at the moment for the US is like anywhere between 2 and 5. I think that's where people are at. Oh, EU. I forget that just like I have people in other time zones, you guys also have other people in other time zones. You know, sometimes I just kind of forget that's how that works because life and the internet, and I'm stupid. That makes like so much more sense right now. So understandable. Completely get it. And also so fair. I have so many friends in Europe who I just... Well, not so many. I have a few friends in Europe who I barely get to like speak to because typically their day starts right as my day ends. And pretty much the ideal time to communicate with any of them is like 6 to 9 p.m. when I'm fudging streaming. So the wolf wearing still leggings looks odd. Really? I guess it sort of does, because he has like just clothes and then armor. I kind of get it. All the factions we approached an agreement the Empire poses a threat, and many responded positively to talk of an alliance. Mingashi and Suino Sato, however, we received outright rejections. The former will not break its treaty with the Empire, and the latter will not involve itself in conflict, of course. Yeah, it's just armor. Yeah. For a moment, like when you said that, I was like, what's wrong with a wolf wearing legs? And then I realized the problem wasn't that it was a wolf. It was not the wolf that was the problem. There's not to be done about it. We must focus on the rest. To each of the nations that were amenable to an alliance, I'll personally send a missive. And once I've attended to it... What? Was Yugiri not meant to be the missive asking for the alliance? Okay. You know, we're not going to question that. I must leave for the meeting in Alamigo. Hold the fort. Okay. Who's this guy again? Just some random. Okay, so is this back to the meeting in Alamigo that we said we were going to be there for? But then we didn't because we went to the burn? Or is this like a follow-up meeting? Because I was of the understanding that there was a council or something that was going to be held in Alamigo, and we just abandoned that to go see if we could save Alphino. Right? But now it's all like, oh no, you can just go to the meeting. Thank God for Aether tickets, oh my lord. Is the self-insert player character samurai you mentioned a while ago? Hakuro? Oh no, wait, the random guy with no name that I don't care about. I think. Chat, what do we think this is? Do we think this is a lookout point? Do we think this is lookout? Oh, don't tell me this is a parkour spot and I have to parkour to get to it. Hold on. This should be easy, right? Fudge. Okay, nope, overdid it. Yep, okay. The moment I realized I couldn't just hop off, I was like, this is a parkour spot. Okay. Second try. Hell yeah! That's all the training I've done in the Gold Saucer, guys. That's all of my, that's all of my Leap of Faith training right there. Stella told me all, and I duly told Irion, Jay, and Kryl. Oh, Kryl's okay, okay. She's concerned about Alpha but I assured her everything that can be done is being done. I mean, we did just abandon them, but that's... Don, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Good morning to you. See, this is what I mean, guys. Like, it's the start of the day for people in Europe. It's like the only time I get to speak to anyone there. You know? Because time zones suck. She agreed to continue with her own tasks for the time being on the condition that I contact her the moment there's any development. Okay, so let's attend to the council. Arenvald is here, of course. He seems altogether too distracted. Okay, so he's missing Alphino too. That's fair. Alphino's pretty cool. Let me in! Oh, shoot. Cutscenes already, chat? Chat, are we ready for like 4 years of cutscenes? I'm so ready. Let's go. Cat, hello. Congrats on being second. How are you today? Baxos, hello. How are you as well? Congrats on being third. Everyone else in chat slacking off right now.
Mistress Lise.
How are things?
Aldin.
How are you both?
It gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Alamigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
You know what? That's so fair, Cat. I too would be bored at this political meeting. Nailed it. Anyway. Oh, hey, it's Samric. I forgot about him.
I know I
Even though I'm
speak for
already in
all
Heavens with my
Alamians
other
when I say
character, and I
that
should
we're
know.
glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
I was joking about your snoring sound effect. Your snoring sound effect went off when the political meeting in-game started, which I realize you also don't pay attention to the game again, so you're confused on both fronts. That's okay.
And we, for our part, are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
You're adding more to your shirt. Oh, the Eat the Rich shirt? What are you gonna add? You're gonna add cake?
Tis we who must thank you
Guillotines?
for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss
I think
of me
cake
not
and
to acknowledge
guillotines
the
would fit.
part the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have played in bringing all of us together.
I mean,
In
that would
times of
obviously
great
work as well.
unrest,
For sure, Cat, for
You
sure.
and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
Yeah, so give me money. I mean, what?
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
Is that the day where you almost died and, dude lost his arm?
The day I lost my arm.
It is that day!
My freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council.
You want to write no kings on the back, but you hate when things are on the back of shirts? Why do you hate when things are on the back of shirts?
I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphino. Would that the lad could be with us.
Yeah, he's missing and probably dying. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine.
I too owe my presence here to Alphino, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Right, okay.
Come, friends.
Even though you
Let us leave the past in the past and turn
would
our
put
eyes
it
to the
on the
future.
shirt specifically so that
My
people
Lord
could
Hien,
read it?
Pray, tell us how things stand in the east.
So don't put things on your shirt. No, I get it. I get it. That's so valid, Kat. I too
Having
like to
heard the
remain
rumors of
unseen.
dissent in Garlemald,
Except on my stream.
I
Don't question
dared
it.
to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways.
Right.
If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Alamigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations.
That doesn't mean you don't try.
But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
I'm gonna say something quite controversial, chat. I prefer Melvib's original voice actor. I'm sorry, I said it. Like, there's nothing wrong with the current voice actor. I just think her voice from Realm Reborn just fits her better. I don't know if that's just a me thing. I don't know if people are gonna hate me for that opinion. I kind of think it just vibes better. I don't know. I don't know enough about
The
Florida, but that
winds
sounds
suggest
fair,
but
Kat.
one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Ascians.
You gotta be able to see them to fight. Yep. I get it.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to
Our
skip that.
objective is clear. The question is
Okay.
how to achieve it.
Okay.
That
I
our
had
enemy
to
parades about in
reread.
Xenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
Magic. You could use glamours. You could use glamours and disguise yourself as the Empire. You could use armor. We've done that before.
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Ascians, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
Oh, I'm here for this. The one thing I've been wanting from this game is more subtlety in what I do. Like, so far we've just, like, solved every problem by just, like, going head first and just beating everyone up, like, making ourselves very known, taking out entire armies, not even, like, a question. I want the subterfuge. I want the stealth. I want the acting from the Shadowbringers. I'm gonna stop with the jokes.
You have an idea?
Nice, we do love that for you, Kat.
Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the Scions, and you mayhap best of all.
It's so much easier to like get things that you specifically want when you can just make them yourself rather than like try to find them or get other people to do it for you.
Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Uh-oh.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal
I feel like he's about to propose the most controversial thing.
We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Alamigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
Okay. I'm with you so far.
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
Yeah, but like, here's my only concern, right? Is they hear there's rumor spreading, and then they go to try and find the source of the rumor, they investigate, and their investigations would lead them to one of two things, right? Thing number one is the source of the rumor is literally just like random people on the street and random rumors, and so they're unverified and they can safely ignore them, right? Or number two is they find out exactly who started the rumor, they find out it's a shinobi, and they find out that they were sent, the rumor was started by the Eorzeans, and then suddenly, again, the source of the rumor is completely unverified, and like, it does good in the short term while it causes a little bit of stress and panic, but then the moment they like start to investigate and they realize there's nothing to it, we don't have a follow-up, right? So Thancred, what's your follow-up?
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Very fair, Cat. Very, very fair. That would be kind of funny. Then again, not everyone on Amazon is like a big seller, right? Right? I don't know. I don't use Amazon enough to really know. But I assume there are like much smaller sellers on Amazon. Having said that, you're still buying from a company, so. And I don't know if Amazon gets like a cut or how that works either, so that also doesn't help.
Miraculous recovery, rumors of Xenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Violet, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Your friend finally got to see your favorite Heavensward scene that kind of still affects our characters even now. I feel like I should know exactly what scene this is, right? Is this Hoshafont? Is it that it can't be any other scene, right? Now I'm confused. Now I'm confused, because the only thing I can think of where someone's like drink gets affected is Nanamo, but that's because I've forgotten like a lot of Heavensward. And I was like, that's post Realm Reborn anyway, right? That one protester. Oh no, I have forgotten. Protester. Wait, no. Wait. Wait, is that the bit with where they're trying to like make friends with the dragons, and then that one protester really did not want us being friends with the dragons, so they're fudging? Is it that bit? Yes, okay. It took me a while to get there, but I got there. The maid who drugged us, yeah. I got there. I have no idea how it's still affecting us though. Because it literally has not been mentioned since. At least where I'm at. But I remember that. That was fudging wild. That was a wild time.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Xenos heir apparent. Family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all
I understand. I understand now. He gets you get them concerned that Xenos is actually not Xenos and it's dead and it's a corpse, and then there's more infighting for who the next like leader of Galia of the Empire should be. I get it. And just looks at you and goes, "Did you get drugged?" Garlemald, thank you. I was like, "What's the word?" I was like, "It's the Garleans." Garlemald, thank you. But yes. I don't know what I'm saying yes to. I completely forgot. Rip your friend though. Did I just get drugged? Yeah. Canada, shut the fudge up, okay? Garlemald isn't a real place. I've only been playing this game for a little while. I haven't grown up knowing all about Garlemald. It hasn't been burned into my brain like countries in the world have, to a certain extent. Not all of them though, because we don't learn every single country, because there's a lot of countries and my memory's trash. And the education system is a lot of things, but at least it doesn't make you memorize every country in existence. The reaction to protest getting shot was hilarious. I wish I could remember that, like, everything surrounding that scene. It's been a while. I remember that my reaction to it was pretty, like, I was shocked, but I wish I could remember more. Because part of me is, like, wishing that the protester didn't just die. I think I wanted to, like, sort of... I think from memory I was, like, really hoping we could, like, meet them in the middle or, like, explain or, like, something, and then they just get fudging murdered, and it made me sad. Garlemalding right now. Fudging, shut up, Don. Like, I can't believe you've done this.
There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Xenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces would be too enticing.
I love this plan. The problem is, it relies on them investigating Xenos himself before they investigate the source of the rumor. And if it was me, and I was hearing a rumor about someone, I would probably want to investigate the source of said rumor first and determine its veracity, rather than just 100% immediately pivoting to investigating the person that the rumor's about. Because, like, what's the point in investigating the person if we don't even know if the rumor's legit, you know? Like, we might find nothing about the person. We might not know even where to look regarding the person. We might not know where our information is going to help unless we find out where the rumor's coming from and why they believe the things they do. I don't know, maybe I'd do it backwards. But, like, in my eyes, this only works to, like, really sow discord and, like, cause a problem if they investigate Xenos before thinking, oh no, where'd the rumor come from? But I'm not a power-hungry politician. Curses! My biggest flaw! You've spotted it! I actually have brains? That is not something people say about me a lot. The people that know me. I mean, it sort of is. But man, I can say some stupid stuff, Doom. I can say some stupid stuff sometimes, you know. Rumors? What is... Oh. Jesus, fudge. I was like, what the fudge is a rumor? Because my small brain, my small stupid brain that I was claiming is stupid, couldn't work out that cat meant rumor with a U and an O-U-R at the, like, the spelled... I couldn't work out cat was spelling rumors wrong, and I got very confused. Leave me alone. No, I'm not blaming you, Cat. I'm laughing at my own fudging stupidity by not realizing what was happening. Still smarter than the average power-hungry politician. The problem is, right, and here's the problem, Doom. The power-hungry politicians are still smart in the sense that they're still in politics and they're still getting voted for. And they're still in power, and they're doing the stupid things no one likes them to do, because unfortunately, they are smart enough to be successful, and therefore, that makes them smarter than the average voter. Well, maybe not smarter than the average voter, but it means they know what they're doing, I think. And to dismiss them as being stupid is kind of missing the point, in that they know how to play the game and they play it well, and that's why they're there ruining everyone's lives. Like, you know what I mean? Done good old America. It's a little bit of both. Some of them are not smart in the slightest. I'm not going to name names. I feel like we all know who here. But then the other ones are smart because they know how to play the fudging game, and they're still doing all the things they do, and they're giving themselves advantages, and they're getting their own benefits, and they're getting their own pay, and they are literally benefiting from all of this. They don't care how many people actually support them or like them. Because they've calculated that means stuff all. Who cares how many people will actually support you in politics, as long as you remain in power and keep getting benefits upon benefits upon benefits, right? As long as you keep getting that, that's what matters to you, because you're power hungry, right? So it's not them being stupid. The problem is that they're smart and they know what they can get away with, and they can keep getting the advantage of that situation. That's what's even scarier. Not that they're dumb, it's that they know what they're doing, or at least their advisors know what they're doing, or the people around them. That's what I hate. That's what's scary about that, right? And I hate that. Anyway, why are we saying blueberry? I want a blueberry. Can I have a blueberry?
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory.
We know you were there beforehand,
A team
Tancred.
of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest. The plan should have a reasonable chance of
Can I go? Can I go to Gunwald? Can I do the rumor spreading?
Dorma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act.
Cat!
Act we must.
My immediate response is gonna be, I don't know, Cat. Literally, it could be no one else but you. I wonder who did it. I was literally like, there is no one else who would just full on take a bite out of some cheese and leave it in the fridge except for you. That's crazy.
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity.
Yeah, but Lay, that would be a maybe, right? I wouldn't even doubt it for a second if Cat would do it. Crimson, you would. Okay, well, I don't think I know enough to really know whether you would or not, but like in terms of Cat, without a doubt, Cat would do it. Only if you lived alone. Cat does not live alone. But also, if you live alone, yeah, you can do whatever the fudge you want with the food in your fridge, you know? Because you live alone. Until a guest comes over, then you have to tell them like, hey, I took a bite out of some cheese in the fridge, don't eat that. Cheese and pepperoni and blueberries. That is an interesting mix. I could like see having the cheese and the pepperoni I can see. The cheese and the blueberries I can see. The pepperoni and blueberries I can't really see. And then all three of them together is just a weird mix. I don't get it. I don't get it.
'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace.
I need to reread the chat like every freaking second message. Okay. I'm with it. Fruit, meat, and cheese. Well, see, that's fine, right, Crimson? Fruit, meat, and cheese is fine, but it's specifically pepperoni as being the meat. Like, that seems odd to me in that combination. Charcuterie board. No, you know, I take it back. As the charcuterie board, that would sort of go hard. You're so right, Doom. Actually, Crimson and Doom, you're so right. I apologize. I have failed to... Yeah. I failed. Yep.
Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
Didn't feel like messing with ham or turkey? No, that's so fair. Pepperoni is so easy, you just get a slice of it. Brenda, is pepperoni? No, salami I can see on a charcuterie board. What the fudge?
That way. Sorrow.
Hey, the Echo doesn't normally do that, chat. The Echo doesn't normally do that. It's happening? Don't you fudging it's happening, melee.
History
say
must be changed.
Okay, real quick, for all of you Final Fantasy fans who like know what's going on right now, I don't. Don't say a fudging word. Do not tell me anything. I'm about to like say something. Don't tell me a single goddamn thing. Say not a word. Do not confirm nor deny. Don't tell me any spoilers. Don't fudging hint or anything. Don't even like give me a smirk emote, okay? My brain right now is like time travel plot, and I'm so fudging excited, but don't you say a thing. Like excited, but terrified, because time travel's dangerous. And changing the past is terrifying, and I don't want to have anything to do with that at all. I would immediately be like, nope, not a fudging chance. You want me to change the past? I ain't doing it. No, sir. But man, would that be a cool fudging plot line. That's all I'm saying. I might be hyping myself up for no reason, though.
Ahead looms a calamity. Ahead looms light.
I'm not surprised at the calamity thing, given all the crystals were losing their, like, aether and stuff around.
You can forestall.
Twin dooms.
Only you.
What's the matter?
A second moon! A second moon has fallen! Oh, wait! Multiple people are getting it? Is it all the Scions?
Spies in our midst?
No.
Nay, I sense no such
They're
presence.
not hearing a thing, so it must be just the Scions.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide.
It's not an echo, because like people who don't have the echo are getting this. Wait, no, it wasn't even all the Scions. Lys didn't get it. It was just Thancred, Y'shtola, and Alizé?
Is it over?
Why didn't Lys get it? Is it just the people with white hair and me? Throw wide the gates, is that what they said? No. Oh no, wait, the entire conversation was not captured. That sucks. Lys is not a Scion, his sister was. Lys retired, she's not a Scion. Yeah, she retired, but she was a Scion. She was a Scion for all of her own Reborn in Heavensward. And then for the start, until she became the leader of the Resistance, she was still a Scion. She's only not been a Scion for like a short time. The sister she was impersonating. But she was effectively, she was working with us the whole time. She was friends. Papa Limo knew. I don't remember if Minfilia knew, but like, she was considered a Scion. She was one of us. She was one of us, you know? Oh no!
Master Thancred.
Oh, Thancred collapsed. Only Papa Limo knew, okay.
12 for Fend.
I wonder if Moonbreeder knew, because Moonbreeder was Ida's like closest friend / Lys's closest friend / whatever, so I wonder if she knew, but she died before we found out. Daddy, no!
Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready.
But Carne Senna, you're a healer, right? And I'm a healer, right? And Y'shtola's a healer. We have 3 of the best fudging healers right here. The best healers.
Swiftly!
Swiftly! Kat, are you trying to say Thancred's hot? The one with the eye patch who collapsed, is that who you meant?
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
I am the best in the lore of the game, or one of the best. Oh, the guy that said he fell? I'm on a tank right now. Yeah, but the cutscenes don't care because I was on a tank when Y'shtola was hit, and I was still yelled at to do my healing because I'm a healer, so shut your face, Slay. Dark hair. So Amric? Was he wearing like the blue? The elf ears?
Who done this? And why just him and not the others?
You don't know. You called him hot. You should know.
Our examinations revealed no wounds
Elpheus,
nor the
Amric.
presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse.
Yeah,
You're to let us know
Amric.
the moment there's any change, all right?
So the 4 of us received some maddening voice in our ears. We're fine. Thancred fudging collapses. And we're all just completely confused as to what happened. I am so intrigued.
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
Okay. No, usually I don't watch the trailers immediately anyway because I've realized that sometimes they can contain spoilers. But I appreciate the heads up anyway.
In gifting us a
Because I
course of
do want to
action,
know
Thancred
not to watch it,
sowed the seed of
you know?
all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits.
Also, this is a side note, but this is why I get so freaking mad at companies that will release spoilers on their own social media and stuff. Like, there's a reason I stay off of their social media and all that for major releases and things, because they shouldn't be spoiling stuff for content no one's experienced anyway, and it makes no sense. And that goes doubly so for trailers. Like, how the fudge are you gonna, like, obviously, yes, you need to, like, show something in your new trailer to get people excited. But the fact that people will show things in the trailer which are themselves huge spoilers, it's like, dude, the trailer is there for people who want to know because they haven't played it yet, because it's new content. They want to, like, what? I don't understand people who put spoilers in trailers. No one's played the game yet. It's a trailer. There's a reason I don't watch trailers for video games anymore. Might go read about boys kissing. Do you mean you might go play date everything? I'm calling you out.
Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
No. I didn't. And the reason I don't think so is because the banquet was still Realm Reborn. It was a patch before Heavensward. Having said that, it might not have actually released until Heavensward though. I don't actually know when it actually like released. But that was not yet patch 3.0. The banquet was I think like 2.5 or something, right? I don't know. It's 5:30 in the morning, you're not getting a computer and turning on that bright game. That's fair. I forget that you don't watch my streams on your computer. It's hard to tell you what happened to the voice because we have no idea.
Moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
I did.
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely.
I was in the void.
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Eh?
Called?
I myself examined Thancred.
Good. I'm glad one of the best fudging healers in the world actually did do something. But I just laid on you in the most uncomfortable way. Cats, am I right?
Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul.
His soul was nabbed.
That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether. A consequence of his prior possession by the
No, like, I agree with this logic, but then how come Y'shtola wasn't affected? Because she literally, like, fudging did her whole teleporting thing. She can see ether. She has also got high... In fact, she has probably one of the highest sensitivities. She can also only... She's blind. She literally sees with ether. Why is she fine? Thancred lost his soul when Minfilia left. Oh my god. You're on your side, he's laying flat on your side, you have one hand. Rip, cat. Rip. Rip, that's it. Drago, you're like, he did! He's gone! Like, I do like that explanation, but I'm like, why is Y'shtola fine then? You know what I mean?
Reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being
Yeah,
called
that's
to?
the other thing, right? Dude? Like, that's why I can accept that. I can accept his soul being affected by ether because he was possessed in Ascian and blah, 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 blah. Totally fine. I'm just like, are we not going to acknowledge how Y'shtola should also have been affected, or at least say, like, just at least acknowledge that, like, yes, even though we know Y'shtola also has her thing, she wasn't Ascian. I don't fudging know. Like, I get it. It's...
I know not.
It's a bit of a nothingness, I guess.
One thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
See, here's the thing, though, right? I don't think that they were Ascians. I'm just thinking, technically, I guess they could have been Ascians that did that, but they were also warning us of a calamity, and I think the Ascians don't care. They want to bring about the calamity, so why would they warn us, right? It gets explained. I'm sure it does. I'm just, like, thinking out loud, right? As I tend to do. Much to some people's annoyance, but I'll do it anyway.
May we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore.
Anymore! Confirmed. Lisa's a scion. Shut the fudge up. Oh, sorry. Lisa was a scion. Shut the fudge up. She said anymore. And unless Y'shtola hits back with, you were never a scion, I'm taking that as acceptance that I was right.
Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lise.
This is so intriguing.
As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we
Signs have
discount the
Archon
possibility of Ascian involvement.
Do you mean like the cool like purple squiggly lines on their faces and stuff? Because Alizé doesn't have one. I don't have one. Minfilia didn't have one. No wait, no, those aren't.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
Come on, Blade. Also, I thought they were the marks of Charlene. Yeah, the students of Charlene. I'm smart. I know things sometimes. I think you spelled it right, but it's an A instead of an E. But apart from that, I think that's it. A lot of the Archons, yeah, there's a lot of overlap, but you're just working with them. Sign is like a scholar's title. I thought the Scions were literally just like the people in the group. I thought it was just the name of the group. I didn't realize it had to have a... Oh no, wait, Alizé isn't an Archon. Right, yes. Yes, okay. I agree with that. I tried to call Urion J in his link pearl, he didn't respond, but I dare to hope he possessed some knowledge that we do. They had a purpose. A lot of the Archons are, yeah, a lot of the Archons are on the signs, exactly. Oh my god, that's Shadow. It's gonna cover me, guys! Shadowbringers is starting! How many times am I gonna make this joke? I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep doing it. Urion J, something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. A disembodied voice suddenly started. Well, he probably felt it as well, right? Because he's also a Scion. He would feel that too, right? Me believes the Shadowbringer comes closer. I am playing a Dark Knight. See, Urion J heard the voice too. Okay. So who else do we think heard the voice then? Is Tataru technically considered a Scion for the purposes of this voice? Or does Tataru just... does the voice just see her as the receptionist that's not important? Who else? Minfilia, now that she's technically merged with Heidelin and is the crystal herself, did Heidelin hear her voice? I don't know. Tataru's carbuncle ran away. I doubt she heard it. Oh, the poor thing. That's so true. In Thanalan. As we alone were afflicted in the meeting, I had my suspicions, but if the voice also spoke to Urion J, that can be leaded out. The science of Tiger specifically. I am so smart. Endure. Another freaking emote I won't use because I don't like the facial expressions. Gretzky, leave Tataru alone.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Even though that's played like 3 times in a row, I promise it is set to random. How are you doing, Gretzky? I hope you're doing well. Urion J agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. I should go back to the meeting with the Elder Seedseer, but if there's anything I can do, you must let me know. Promise me. I promise. There's also an ad in a minute. Which I'm absolutely going to start before we get more freaking story progress, because I am not letting that... Maybe I snooze it. We'll see. We'll see how long this cutscene lasts. Uh-oh.
Urion J! God, it's good to see you.
He doesn't look very, pleased.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
Stop, traitor! Leave him alone! They were so good! I can't wait to have more of them, because I feel like we're definitely gonna have more. Like, they just introduced them and they hit us with like 2 right off the bat. Like, we're gonna have more, and that excites me so much. I wish we had more abilities, but I can understand why they don't give us so many, because we don't have enough time to learn them all. So, yeah. 2-time traitor? Wow. You're right, though.
You heard it too, then?
But yeah, we confirmed that back in Alamigo. Come on, shall I get with the program? keep up.
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you might have never picked up White Mage in your life, and if when you play Y'shtola, it just gives you the entire White Mage fudging roster. Like I get it, you know, I get that they're not gonna do that, but I feel like 4 abilities is like too little, you know, like give us like 7, 6 maybe is not, no, because then even then it starts to get too much. I get it. The problem with when I played Y'shtola is it's very much. They give us a 1 button rotation. Melees have the combo rotations on 1 button the cycles. That's what I was gonna wonder. I was like, we played 2 magic users, so I wonder how it is with melees. If it's just the 1 button that rotates, that sucks. I don't want to press the same button again and again. It's why the 1 button rotation that WoW introduced recently doesn't even interest me at all.
Who do you think is responsible?
Like, I don't have a lot of fun pressing 2, 2, 2, 2. Like, even if it's technically a different ability and it's a different combo and it works differently, it's the same button. You know what I mean? Like, granted, the difference is I'm pressing 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. But at least I feel like I've got more control then. Like, I'm doing something different. Like, I have an option. The illusion of choice is there.
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known.
That's just me being pedantic. Hi, Riol. I see you in the back there, buddy.
Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
You want to go all the fudging way back to Alamigo? You called us all the way over here just so you can make us go all the way back?
To Alamigo, then, without further delay.
We just came from there. Ryonjay, you could have saved us so much time.
During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
You didn't have to guild a warp. He had to join the party first. And then we have to get the free teleport. He could join the party from halfway across the world, though. We don't need to be here for that.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Yeah. The crystals being all lacking of aether.
That spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at 2 apparently
He doesn't have
unconnected
reduced
locations.
TP rates, you're so right.
I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little.
The moment I heard that happening, I was like, another calamity is gonna happen.
In which the ether hath grown thin.
Budget cuts. You can blame Alphino for that one. You know how expensive that sword was? That's his fault.
Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence
It was so
of
funny.
summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Maybe Doom knows too, because Doom has played a fair bit of this game. I don't know exactly where they're up to. I don't know if they're like endgame or whatever, but I know Doom's very familiar with it.
Indeed, I shall make it my task to...
Oh! Another vision?
The voice. It
Fully
calleth
endgame.
to me once more.
Wait, we're not getting it. Is it just targeting Ryonjay? Oh, no, Y'shtola's hit too.
I hear it too.
Oh, here we go.
Only you. Only you.
Only me?
No!
Don't tell me they're gonna lose their souls as well.
Y'shtola! Ryonjay!
Throw wide the gates.
Yeah, no, they're fine. Well, Alizé's fine.
No. No, this can't be happening!
Did the others collapse? Oh, fudge.
Y'shtola! Ryonjay! Open your eyes!
Ah, fudge. Wifey, no!
Open your eyes, I beg you. Say something. Anything. Not again. Please. Not again.
Oops, I skipped that by accident. Hey chat, we might have an issue. I think I need to let the ad run before like I get interrupted with like another really cool like event that I'm gonna have to like try and like fudging have on either side of ads. Twitch is being annoying. I snoozed the ad twice and there's another ad coming. So we're just gonna play the ad now before we talk to Alize again. Holy shoot. It's like no matter how much I play this game and I enjoy it and things get better and better and better, they just find a way to still make them better. Like you'd think there would come a time where like the entertainment value, like the mystery would like hit a peak and it would like, you know, drop off again, right? Like, cause like that's how things work. Things get better up until a point and then they taper off. Like that's life, right? This game doesn't agree with that rule. This game doesn't understand maths. It doesn't care for it. It'll just make things cooler and cooler. And then you'll be like, what the hell's going on? I'm gonna digest this for a bit. You know, I'm gonna take a drink, gonna get something to eat, have a snack, go for a walk, come back, be like, what the fudge is going on? People are losing their souls left and right. Either the power creeps or you hand it. Yeah, well, but in terms of the story, I mean, like the story just keeps improving and I love it. When you were dragging an ult through Realm Reborn, you started saying I got a pocket full of scions. I don't know exactly what that's a reference to, because I don't know music and I'm so sorry. You're gonna hate me for that one. I think at some point every new viewer will eventually learn that I don't know music and they'll just like go through the whole like shock and hate and anger. This might be your time. So I'm sorry, I don't get it. But I'm gonna take a song about the pocket filled with sunshine. It's not ringing a bell. It's not ringing a bell. You know what? When I take my break, when I go for a stretch, have a walk, I'll see if I can find the reference. And if I don't see the reference or I don't get the reference, I will come back and report that I am a horrible person. Redsky, no! Okay, I'll be back. No more delaying. We gotta make Twitch happy with the ad revenue or something. I don't know. Hello everyone, I'm back, and I am proud to report that just as expected, I have no fudging clue what Pocket Full of Sunshine or whatever it is. I listened to like a minute of it in the break and went, yep, doesn't ring a bell for me. So there's that answer, Doom. Yeah, this is also definitely a name. It is quite the name. Boulder, I don't know, it's the boulder part for me because he's a Rogadon and he's built like a boulder. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what that means, Redsky. I realized that I was focusing on the wrong part of the name than you were, and oops is all I have to say about that. I just saw your Discord message, Doom, about the pocket of the thing. Sounds similar to a slur. Oh. Oh, I think I get it. Anyway, I'm so keen to continue. The story's got me hooked. That was an unseemly display. Look, Alizé, I don't think you have anything to be apologizing for. You just saw two of your friends collapse after another friend collapsed. Like, I would also freak out. You know? I probably don't use on specific. Oh. So it's not just adding a Y to a word? Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, I saw that, like, I pulled up the song on YouTube in my break or whatever, and then listened to it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know it. Like, I found it, I just, absolutely nothing. Nothing. It happened before your very eyes, none here would have behaved any differently. Exactly. It's pronounced Rogadin? I've always pronounced it Rogadon, and literally no one has corrected me. Rugadin. I hate that. I can understand the din part, but I like Ro, not Ru. I can accept Rogadin, but Rugadin just sounds weird, and that makes me unhappy and uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. As an anti-marriage, oh yeah, we don't like that then, Redsky. We don't like that at all. The E is silent. I don't. Well, no. Even if it was just an R-O, it would still be Ro. In this case, it's not silent. It's just pronounced as, it's like it elongates the O, which I don't like. I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying. I don't like it. I don't like it. We have borne the two of them to a private chamber, but tell me, is it true Thancred languishes in the like state in El Amigo? Yeah. It seemed best to observe them together. I'll send word to Lisa that he should be brought here. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Yeah, and unfortunately, those were the ones most knowledgeable about this exact thing. Which is to say, granted, they didn't have much information, but they would have been the one to, like, work it out. Hi, Mystic, how are you? I'm not liking how Rugadin is actually pronounced, because I used to think it was Rogadon, and I can understand the pronunciation of Rogadin. I don't like Rugadin. So I'm like, I don't like that. But I'm loving where the storyline's going at the moment. How are you, Mystic? I hope you're doing well. Congrats on 4th. Everyone else in chat, you're still slacking. And I will call you out on that one. We'll rouse them no matter what. First things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. I wonder what Alizé heard that time. Did Alizé also hear only you? Is the only you talking to both of us? Is this voice wanting me and Alizé to work together, or is the voice specifically talking to me and is about to, like, is Alizé the next target? You know, like, and also, how many other Scions are there at this point? Or is Alizé the only surviving one? You were first, you're anything but slacking? Okay. Doom, when I was saying the rest of you are slacking, the people who claimed 1st or 4th are exempted. You're good. You're good, Doom. In fact, you weren't just slacking, you nailed it. You won. You won tonight. Where's that Arenvald dude? He's back in Alamigo. He was in the meeting when all the Scions wait, hold on a sec. Arenvald has the Echo, but he's technically not a Scion. Because he didn't hear the voice, and he's been completely left out of the entire cutscenes. So, he is a Scion. If he was a Scion, he would have been affected in that cutscene, because he was there during the meeting. And he has not been brought up a single fudging time, so what the fudge is going on here, you know? You should come along too, I think he'd be glad to see you. Yeah, we'll go to Limsa. We'll go to Limsa. He's just not in a circle. Yeah, so I wonder, so the question then I guess becomes, are they targeting all Scions or just all Inner Circle Scions? That's what he's part of the B team. Okay, so it's all Inner Circle Scions. So in other words, the way I like to say it, it's all the proper Scions. No, I'm sorry, that was mean. That's like really mean and rude. Very interesting where this is going though. Oh, Maelstrom Command, that's I know what that is. I know what that is. Or the OG. Well no, because Arenvald was still OG. Kind of. He was OG. Isn't Arenvald like a Scion well before we were? Like Arenvald's been around technically like before we did, right? And then he like had a break, or he did something else or something. I don't quite remember. I can't remember exactly the backstory of it, but like he was around before us. As I probably guessed, it's Gaboo we've come to see. I'm so sorry. I did not guess that because I don't know who that is. But not 18. Yeah, that's exactly my point. Like, it's not OG Scions. It's the Inner Circle, but it's not OG. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit him again. I'm gonna remember who this is the moment I lay eyes on him. I'm gonna feel so bad. Yeah, exactly, Doom, exactly. Oh, it's him! I feel so bad.
Here he is, my lady.
Oh my god, we're gonna get Kobold voice?
Gaboo, it's been too long.
Oh, he's not speaking.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I can't believe they would make me think we'd actually get a Kobold voice actor and then they'd hit us with that lol no.
I see. You're still fighting.
I completely forgot what happened to him again. And who he is.
I'm proud of you.
It wasn't Realm Reborn,
We
that's for
promised that
sure.
we would come and visit you together, didn't we?
Parents were killed.
Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet.
Wait, his parents were killed in some time. So he is Realm Reborn. I literally just replayed all of Realm Reborn and I still don't fudging remember him.
You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens?
Okay. It was post Heavensward. Yeah, and that would be why, like, the moment I saw Harris say rematch level 60, I was like, that's why I've forgotten, because it was probably like 2 years ago when I did Heavensward, because I took that break. And I've not gotten up to that point on my other character. Tempered and traumatized. The poor guy. The poor thing.
I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones.
But now they won't be.
Not like now.
We gotta do this ourselves, Alizé, and if you collapse, and I don't know what I'd do, because all I've done is follow other people's orders. That's all I know how to do. You go away, I'm gone.
I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well.
Yeah, no, that does vaguely ring a bell. And it's so sad too, because he got tempered. We'll have to rely on players for Duty Finder? Nah. If your hero didn't exist, the twins would be main characters.
I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them. That
I'm okay with that.
That I cannot bear.
So let me get this straight. Alizé is best girl, but Y'shtola is wife. How does Yustola feel about not being the best girl that when you're married with her? Like, is she offended by that, Lay? Is she offended that she's not the best girl when you're like? Yeah, she is offended. Okay, great. She did have so much growth from Stormblood. I do love the character growth that all of these characters have gone through. I think the writing is fantastic. Alze's like a little sister. Oh no, for sure. Absolutely agree. Big little sister energy. Well, big little sister, little, because she knows she's a wife. You don't have to. I feel like saying you still have me is like, really, it's not a great response. She's upset about all her other friends and we're popping in with, what about me? It's not great. Like, I get where it comes from. But I think you don't have to burden this alone is like, it's saying the same thing, but a much nicer, more supportive way. That's my analysis.
No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself.
Take that, Alphino.
You'd think I'd have learned that by now.
I know, Harris, I know.
I don't know what I'd do.
I'm just giving my input, you know, I'm giving my little analysis on the situation that literally doesn't matter at all, and you guys are just subject to hearing because you're here, and I will force you to.
Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
I'm fully expecting the entirety of Shadowbringers to be about saving the friends, but apparently that might just be the next few missions. Will he talk? Will he speak? Will he speak? No, he won't. Let's return to the Rising Stones. Try return to the Waking Sands. Wait, no, that's the wrong place. Whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway. Cool. To Mordona. You're already back to 20,000 Pika Squawks. Cool. 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 What are you gonna do with them, huh? What are you gonna do with them? Oh my god, chat's a blue I'm kidding, we're not doing that. We ain't doing that. That's Realm Reborn stuff. There's no queue time for that. No one's doing that nonsense. What was there and why is that empty? And now that patch is done after that cutscene? Nice. There's some thinking on the way back. I think he's right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily we'd turn to our own experts, but they're both among the stricken. I begin reaching out to myriad guilds and research institutions in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather Minfilia had a wealth of connections and I mean to explore them too. We'll find a way to save it. Okay. You have your own part to play and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise you'll visit from time. What do you mean you won't keep me? I don't have a task at the moment. I literally have nothing to do except wait for you to call me back in 3 seconds. I never grabbed Ultimate Weapon Extreme because I couldn't queue for it, so I abandoned the quest. Patch over? Yeah, no, that's what Lay said. I'm keen. I'm excited. We're almost there. We're almost Shadowbringers, chat. We're almost there. Okay, here we go. I wonder if the rumors have been spread yet, or if this is just another cutscene before the rumors.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now
One
is the
patch
time to bring the Empire's might to bear.
I didn't think I was that close.
A word from your radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart.
Stop being racist. That's all I'm saying. But like also actually stop, you know?
Have you no words for me?
Oh, he's mad. Do you think he knows that it's not Xenos?
Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool.
Harris, you still don't say that though, you know? You still don't say that. Not okay.
When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power.
Oh, whoa, is he admitting it?
The cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament
Oh my
to my commitment.
Dude's in on it. He knows.
And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the.
Although I shouldn't be surprised. Of course, they'd be in league with the Assassins to begin
as
with.
one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely.
Mitch, hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well.
Deliberate if you
How
must,
things
but
have
be quick
been?
about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt.
Yeah, I don't remember
Until
that at all.
then, I take my leave, Father.
Why would you still call him father? Unless he's also an Ascian. No way. No, that doesn't make sense. Buying too much Lego? Nice. Well, Lego. He did not respond at all to anything.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree?
Me trying to work out Ascian or not Ascian? Like, he's Garlean, obviously, but possessed, not possessed?
Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms.
Grandson?
You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is
the
your
literal
concern.
fudging emperor of Garlemald himself a fudging puppet, but not to an Ascian? This is fudging crazy.
Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His
Or maybe he isn't
choices
Ascian. I can't tell.
seldom
Like, he doesn't look like one, but they certainly are in league with them. Like, in league, cooperating with on. They know them very well. They know their names. They know their roles. They know what they're doing. They know what's happening.
If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it.
Holy fudging shoot. The first emperor is alive and well.
Oh dear. Have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one
And
to
he
read.
still looks young as hell too.
I pity you, I do. As they
So
say,
is he an Ascian?
ignorance is bliss.
Or is there some other magic
And
at play?
I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know.
Oh, I love this. I love this game. I love this game. Also, dude's not speaking. He's terrified. That's funny.
The founding father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos.
Wait. Okay, so he is an Ascian. I'm assuming he is the founding father because he said he built the empire and they're not. I'm assuming he's not like. I'm assuming these aren't two very different things and that the founding father is the first emperor and he's not just like. Because they could technically be referring to two different people, right? Like technically. It was Ascians all along. It wasn't a twist I saw coming. I will say that. No, see, here's the thing, Harris. I was thinking, was the first Emperor of Galamold possessed by an Ascian? That's where my thoughts were going. I was thinking, was he possessed by one and therefore the Ascians took over all of Galamold and got all of their power, right? That's where my brain was going. My brain was going, the Ascians took control over the Galamold Empire and they've been using it for their own means. That's what I thought the extent was. I did not see the fact that Galamold was created by an Ascian in the first place. I didn't pick up on that. That's big. That's huge. Oh no. Ah, fudge. I think the Domans, the shinobi who are going to be spreading the rumor are in trouble. They are screwed. They're so dead.
Personally, I merely do my duty.
And I'm so surprised Thancred got away with spying on them all. That's crazy.
To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power. And there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns.
So, okay, there's still one mystery left, which obviously we're going to find out at some point. Who is the voice then? And why are they taking the Scions, like, away from us? Because, like, it's not Heidelin. Because we already, like, Heidelin, she communicates to us differently, so it's not that. So there's just this other mystery player on the field. They wired the gates. That doesn't mean anything to me. Repeating it doesn't help, and also don't help. I will figure it out. There's a lot. Listen, a lot's been dumped on me tonight, okay? I gotta think. There's some thinking I gotta do. And it ain't happening now.
To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alec.
Hold on, chat. Is it the Allegans? Because the Allegans, my understanding is, are completely fudging gone, right? But they are the only, like, big... Unless it's just another god, which I don't think that's likely. I don't think it's a god. But the only other powerful, like, civilization that exists, right? Or that has existed that we know of are the Allegans. Or the Charlayans, but their fudging home got fudging destroyed. Like that island got blown up, right? So I don't think it's them. And the only gates I can think of are the fudging gates to the Crystal Tower, but like I don't think that's gonna be a thing. But that is Allegan. Oh!
You fiends are overfond of your own voices.
He's just gonna come back, though. He'll come back. He'll be back.
Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
He's gonna do the portal thingy, right? He's gonna do the portal thing, and his soul's gonna be like sucked back into the void, and he's gonna... Yeah, okay, there it is. He's fine. He's fine.
Such a waste of time and energy.
There are no temple
both
expansions.
yours and
okay.
mine.
See, the way it came across in Realm Reborn was that when the Isle of whatever the fudge was blown up and destroyed by the Garleans, was that they fudging it came across like they wiped out all the Sharlanes out of existence. That's how it came across. But that could also just be more of a thing because all the Sharlanes that they knew were there, like Kryl and stuff. So they just thought everyone died. But like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what that means, Reski. Oh, wait. Oh my god, they killed Kenny. I get it.
Lest you forget, you
South
are
Park
Emperor
reference.
now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you, pliant pieces for the game.
I wonder who he possessed.
Oh, do
Or
stop
replaced?
sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
I don't know what you're talking about. The only thing I could possibly think of is like Warhammer 40,000 or whatever, but I don't even know what the Emperor looks like. And there's so many other Emperors and so many other pieces of lore, I don't even think that could be it, because it could be anything, and I have no reason to suspect as much. I don't know what Emperor you mean, is my point. Meanwhile, at a resistance encampment somewhere in the Empire. There's active resistance in the Empire? Of course. He's made it, chat. Alphino's alive. Wait, but Alphino didn't get the... Did Alphino not get the visions and the voices? I forgot to consider that. The world. What in the fudging world, indeed? I see no wounds or any evidence of battle. They're all dead. They finally used it. Used what? Is it a secret weapon that they've had? The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Gurbania, a gas, Black Rose it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. Oh, fudge. I thought the project abandoned and its vile fruit destroyed, but naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. What do they hope to gain with this? Could they not see that a rule run through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? This is not the work of men but monsters, the Ascians. It cannot be a coincidence they trailed us here. Their objective was never to rule but to sow strife and discord. Too much is going on, chat. My brain can't connect all the dots to all these things. I can't do it. A history of Violet. We change our name again. Alizé is a wit's end. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Alizé. I get that's fair. That's on. Yeah.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news.
You're glad I've come, Alizé. I never left.
After you left, we reached out to both
I didn't
the
leave.
Alchemist's Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments.
I'm glad that Alizé has not been targeted, but I'm also a little uncertain why. And Alphino too, did he get a single vision?
Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring.
Like, that's also an interesting thing that I'm not sure of, right? We might find out.
Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Elfino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
I don't know, who are you? Kyle, of course!
Krile, I did not think you well enough to travel.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Okay, but you also didn't get affected. Which...
Yes, I should have thought of that.
Shaking my head, Alizé. Not good enough.
Thank you for coming, Krile. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
How much do we need to catch her up on? Because that happened quite a while ago, and I guess I've just told Kyle absolutely fudging nothing. Which, not great.
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
Yeah, it sounds like something pathetic Alphino would say, huh? Also, where have I heard that before?
Well, that particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is,
it is
he
a
meant
funny
every
line.
word and has lived his life accordingly.
But I feel like I've heard that line before from someone else. From the Garleans? No, that can't be right though. Is it?
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault. But I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
And continues to happen.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened. Thanks to a certain someone.
Oh my god! Alizé, it was you! Don't shut up.
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh?
I'm gonna tell him immediately the moment I can. It'll be so funny. The moment I get that conversation pop up, I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it.
Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Bye, Kyle. So we have an infirmary that way? Also, where is Tataru? Dum, 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 dum. Oh, wait, she's back. She's like, yep, they're dead.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical
Yeah,
bodies.
that's, yeah. Yeah, we know.
Yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yeah, in like some void or something, I don't know.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
I wasn't around for that. but I can't imagine it was easy.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. We needed to get a certain someone's help by the name of Stola, I think. Which, speaking of, can't do it.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Thought Twist would go to Master Matoya and she's also lost her soul. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh no, I thought I heard the music cut out and I was like, something's about to happen. Back to Dravani. Oh, fudge. I forget there is literally no Aetheryte nearby. We're going to Idleshire. I have not been here in ages, guys. I've not been there in ages. May as well pick up a Wondrous Trails book while we're there, am I right? So I can proceed to not complete the tasks. Actually, it resets every... I don't even know if I'll even be able to like play the game before the end of the week. So you know what? Can't be stuffed. Can't be stuffed. I'll just miss out. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I've gone all this time without doing it. Oh, I was gonna say, I have a quest here. Yeah, it's the Alexander trial. Or raid. The Alexander raid. This place still looks quite pretty. You get 2 weeks to complete the book? I thought it was only 1 week. Because I thought it was 1 week to complete it and then you have a week to turn it in before it expires or whatever. I didn't think you could still complete it. But also, I know I'm not going to do it because I haven't done this whole expansion and I don't really care enough, to be honest. Like, it's something I'll do on my other character for off-stream, but this one, I purely just want to play the story on this one. You get a new one each week if you're quick, yeah. Look at these froggies. I forgot how cool this area looked. And all of their little froggy friends. It's just something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. You don't even know the half of it. Should I bring my cool Bream minion? Never mind, I don't get the option. Hello. I wonder if she's gonna yell at us.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you?
There it is.
I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there. Y'shtola has lost her soul. Can you help?
Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name.
Honestly, Doom.
See now, you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the live?
I love how her texture has not been
I've seen
updated at all.
happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
I mean, this is so true, but at the same time, I feel like that's probably what she wants because she doesn't want people to intrude on her, right? Like, she doesn't want us to visit for a nice little catch-up. She'd rather we stay as far away from her as possible. So if we are gonna visit her, I think she would rather that we do it only when we absolutely need something, right? Like, I get you. And for a normal person, I'd agree. But I feel like she's probably okay with this.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ah! Nice first impression you got there, Alize.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders.
Love that interaction.
Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
How do you know it's a tragic... Because we're here. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
Everyone is dying and we need a help.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
I mean, we'll take that. The mental image, yeah. I mean, look, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Does this game even have kids? I don't know if I've seen a single kid in this game, to be honest. I'm sure I have. Yes. I'm sure I have, but none come to mind. Like, at all. Kids in Gridania?
Right. Let us see what we can see.
And there's literally the fudging girl from the White Mage Conjurer quest line. What's her face? Sylvie. There's literally fudging Sylvie.
I'll begin from where our friends first fell.
Oh, right, her too. Yeah, no. I mean, look. They're just so infrequent. Not like real life where they're everywhere. Chloe herself is a fudging child. Look, it's been a while since I've seen her. I've probably just forgotten. Yeah, I know. I've forgotten what she looks like. I've forgotten everything about her. I just know she exists and I get a book from her. It's been a while since I've done. Like, I took a big break after Heavensward.
What is it? Did you find them?
Like a year or something.
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
Oh, she's found something.
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could the ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the Broodmother's daughter all over again.
What?
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
Literally the only thing I can think of is the void right now.
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
Oh, guys, I know where they went. They went to follow Hildebrand and Greg and the other guy at the end of the Hildy quest line. They just went to the Shadow Realm. It's fine. The Snake Tribe. No, I realized when they said the fudge. I realized when they said that primal thingamajig, I worked that out. But yes. I was a bit confused at first. That's gotta be the void, right? Like, where else?
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there,
No, that's fair enough, Harris. That's fair
progress
enough.
of a sort. We just have to keep looking.
Look, my money is their soul is in the void. Their souls are in the void.
Pray, excuse me a moment.
Who is calling us at this hour?
I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way.
Wait.
That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them.
Wait, what? But we just saw Alphino in a resistance camp somewhere. Was Maxima not... No, wait, Maxima wasn't with them. I don't remember who was with where.
I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I like how Matoya's taken a liking to Alize.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Off we go, yahoo! Sorry. I don't know why I have this, like...
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
It's the Aether. It's the Aether leaving. It's all the energy going away, isn't it?
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes.
No, you are not, Thaxos. Hi. How are you?
I need a Disciple of the Hand job.
Happening all over.
It is a very funny Doom. I like it. I quite like it. I can see it too.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone wrong. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows.
Bringers.
You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Oh my god, I just knocked my whole desk and panicked. You redeemed something at the start, but redeeming first, second, or third, or whatever doesn't come with a text input. So therefore, that doesn't trigger the bot because you haven't sent a message yet. So, yeah, when you redeem last, it is a message input, and that message gives you the bot to go off. The only exception for that is subscribing. I don't think subscribing sets off the sound effect when you leave a message. Maybe it does. I don't think it does though, from memory. I don't know. Sometimes it does and sometimes I don't know. I don't remember. But that's the typical thing. Yeah, that's why. Because you never said anything. You just joined and you kept your mouth shut, and it was very rude. No, I'm kidding. That's fine. But yes, you are not the first. No, but no, you are not the first last. You're like the third last or something. Anyway. So that was a woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. Yeah. The water here is named after one of the gods. Sure. Just like I told you to... Huh? Am I gonna take any of these? No, I'm taking the money. I almost can't bear to hear what Max has to tell us, but it can't be bad news. Lisa would have said, unless there's no point speculating. Lisa said she notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate at the Alamegan Quarter. Oh, I thought she was talking Thaliac as in the mountain, not the water. So the water's not named after the gods, it's a mountain named after a god. Right? Clogging up the Thaliac. Okay, so it's a river. Okay. Creaking mountain clogging up. Okay, so it's the name of a river or something. Okay. Okay, never mind. I take it back. You're right. Also, Thaliac is a scholar, right? It's Thaliac the scholar? I need to double check. It's the Alexander raid. It's because I didn't finish the raid. Yeah, Thaliac the Scholar. I knew it because that's my guardian for this character. Been 10 years since you ever used the sewing machine. You used it and troubleshoot it like you're in high school again. We love that, Lay. We love that. I have never used the sewing machine. Why am I going this way? I need to go back to Alamigo. Actually, you know what? I do want to look at this pretty little thing. This pretty little shieldy. Surely she's not talking about... I don't even know where the clogging river hunk of metal... No, she was talking about the hunk of metal clogging... She was talking about this, right? This is... How is this clogging anything? The water flows around it so easily, right? Right? You know the best way you can use one in hand, so hey, better than me. I know the theory of using one, I've never actually used one. Fudge it, I'm doing the fudging thing. I'm doing the freaking thing. I'm lowering it to fudging 900. So that way when it's close enough to 1,000, I can use it. name of the warden? The water's not flowing anywhere, it's at the bottom. Looks like it's flowing from the waterfall and then going... Like, it doesn't look like it's clogging anything. My other characters are the... Fudge, I forgot the name of it, but it's the time, the god of time person. The guardian of time, whatever it is. I'll know it when I hear the name. Or read the name. It's just left me for now. I don't remember all the other guardians though, unfortunately. I should probably look them all up. So they must have left Alphino with the other, with the Shadow Hunter or whatever his name is. Sorry, my back's itchy.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino,
Daddy?
I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
What do you mean, Daddy? Who? Him?
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
Roban? Nah. Retsky's not talking about Roban. Or Raban or whatever.
What happened to my brother?
Oh, jeez.
Where is Alphino?
Deep breath, Salazar.
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing.
Emergency landing? You guys crashed!
As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries.
Look, I don't blame her. As far as she's concerned, Maxima and the Popularis are still not to be trusted. You know, because of fudging Asahi or whatever. That's what an emergency landing is. No, an emergency landing is when you have issues, so you try to, like, have a controlled landing, right? They didn't have a controlled landing. They just straight crashed and burned. They lost control of their control panel. They couldn't descend. They had no control, right? They didn't get to choose how to descend. Their entire fudging panel just, like, exploded on them, and then they just fell and burned and crashed. There was no emergency landing. There was no attempt to be made. Elena, Mefina, Thaliak, Nimia, Limlayan, Oshan, Birgot, Ralgar, Azema, Nalthal, Novikan, Althic. Althic is the time person, right?
This Shadow Hunter, as he styled himself, then
It was an emergency, and they landed. And again, I would argue that they didn't land, because a landing implies control. It implies smooth descent. It implies wheels and safety to it. They did touch ground. They did touch ground, but you can crash and touch ground. By merit of being on land. No! I refuse. Not when you fall. Yeah, like a landing, it's not a landing if you just fall. If there's no barrel roll, I don't want it. Althic's time? Hell yeah. No, I would not... If something fell and dropped, I would say it has landed, but it is not a landing. You do not call it a landing if something hits the ground. Yes, it has landed on the ground, but it's not a landing. Try a somersault. Yeah. That's a neat trick.
Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Popularis colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire.
You can chip and fall on your legs.
Master Alphino, however,
yes,
declined the invitation to join us.
I don't have an issue with the use of the word land and landed. It's just not a landing. And I think the key word, the key thing is a landing, right? Like, because technically you can say that someone who's fallen is landing on their side if they're about to, like, land, but, like, you wouldn't call it a landing. I think the A is carrying the... I'm realizing I'm, like, backpedaling a lot here as I, like, talk to Sue, and I'm like, hold on. This is me. I still 100% believe it's not a landing. But I'm seeing your perspectives, and I'm recognizing I am backpedaling a lot here. I still don't agree. What sound did the ship make? But there's also crash landings. And I think that's the key point, right? A crash landing is not an emergency landing. Oh, maybe it is. Oh, fudge. God dang it. I don't like this. I mean, I do like it because I like discussing things like this and realizing that my opinion is not as solid as it was, you know? Crash landings tend to be an emergency. Yeah, no, that's the reason why Doom said, oh, it's a crash landing, it's not an emergency landing, and I was like, wait, hold on, no, those are synonyms, aren't they? What are your thoughts on the... Oh, fudge. A crash landing is a subset of emergency landing. I agree. I agree, Dom. I agree. I think that's what I'm about to do, Harris, is I'm about to look up the definition of a landing and a crash, and I'm going to see where that lands me. What are your thoughts on the term near miss? It depends on the context. It depends on the context. It could be a positive, it could be a negative. And I'm talking about bandicoots. Okay. Define crash. Let's have a look at the definition of crash. Collide violently with an obstacle. Yep, that's fair. Move or cause to move with force. I wouldn't count that. Violent collision. I'd say a violent collision is the term we'll go with here. And now if we define a landing, coming or bringing something to land. Technically, that could absolutely still be a crash. Okay. I will... Okay. Here's where I think I'm going to agree with you guys. By the pure definitions of the words emergency landing, and crash, and blah, 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 you are correct. A crash is technically still a landing. I agree with you guys. You're right. You can still bring something to land with violent force. I get that. However, I would say the implication of saying that someone had to make an emergency landing is a wildly different implication to someone who doesn't know anything about the facts than just saying they crashed. If someone tells you they made an emergency landing and someone else tells you they crashed, you would think of two very different things, would you not? If someone said they made an emergency landing, you would think, oh, okay, well, that sounds really bad. Something bad could have happened. If someone said they crashed, you immediately go worst case scenario, everyone's dead, right? Well, maybe not that extreme, but you get they're two very, very different vibes. So I stand by my original opinion that they are not the same thing, even though you guys are absolutely correct and they can mean the same thing. So, yeah, no, not that extreme, but like that's the point I'm trying to make. So yes, you guys are all correct. However, I still think he was being misleading as hell by choosing those words, and I don't like it. They crashed. Okay, cool. Crash by definition is a state of landing which you cannot take off again. Oh boy. But to agree with what everyone else in chat was just saying though, Harris, you can have an emergency landing and still not be in a state where you can take off again as well. Still a very different thing, right? They can both apply. That can apply to both. Emergency landing can still, like, you can still not be able to take off from an emergency landing. So I think the only real difference between these terms is the way it comes across when you talk to someone in casual conversation. Or in any conversation, really. If you land because you're out of gas, is that a crash? No, but it's an emergency landing. Which proves my point! Thank you, Retsky. I actually think that's a pretty good argument I could have and should have made, but I think my conclusion still doesn't change. I still agree with you guys that the terminology, it'll equal, you know? If you crash because you're out of gas, yes, but if you land, no. Well, if you land because you're out of gas, it could still be an emergency landing, right? If you are, there's an ad break right now. I'm so sorry for those of you who are not subscribed and you're not going to hear my amazing argument. Can we go one stream where I don't yap? We were doing really great for the first like 2.5 hours. Well, for the first 2 hours. Okay? But yes, if you're out of gas, you know what's wrong with it? They ain't got no gas. Yeah, but if you're out of gas, you're not able to keep it in the air for much longer. So you got to make a landing, and if you don't make a landing, then you'll be you have no gas to keep going. So it is an emergency, right? Out of fuel to keep flying, needing to land because you're out of fuel, I would class that as an emergency. Just wave your arms. Is that what you wanted? You thought it is the point of the stream. Let's be honest. It's why you're all here. I mean, it's not why you're all here, but it's why you all stay. Well, you all put up with it. I'm going to take a break for like the next 2 minutes of this ad break so that the people who are not subscribed don't miss too much. But I think we've all come to the same conclusion, is that thoughts on term, again, Thaxos. I'll come back to you after the ad break, but I do need you to explain the context behind it because it changes. The term has different meanings and different vibes and different reasoning based on the situation in which it's used. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. Okay, I'll be back in a minute and 42 seconds. I need hydration. Yeah, guys, I'm so fudging easy to derail, and I don't know why any of you were surprised by this, especially you, Retsky. You've been here for God knows how many years at this point. You should know better. Yes, it has gotten worse. It's gotten so much worse over the last, I want to say 2 years. I never used to rant this much. Like, I used to do a bit of it. These days, I get derailed so easily, and I don't know what changed. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe I'm just more confident in how absolutely fudging off the rails I go. But you shouldn't be surprised, you know? Anyway, to answer your question, Thaxos, because you still refuse to give me the context I asked for, so I guess I'll just provide you my answer without it. Confidence ADHD, it's not ADHD. My psychologist has told me that that's not a thing that I should be worried about. But, because near miss, it could mean anything in so many different situations, right? Like if you are playing a game or a sport, right? Let's just say you're playing a sport, right? And even within that okay, just as an example, I don't know why I'm using a fudging sport analogy. I don't play sports. I hate sports. I don't care for them. But I feel like this would maybe like help for most people, right? So let's say you're playing basketball and you're like really right near the end of the game, like, you know, the time's running out on the clock. I don't know how basketball works. Time's running out on the clock, you're like 2 points behind or whatever, I don't know. And then you throw the ball, you try to shoot. You shoot, right? You shoot for the basket. Again, reminder, don't play basketball. So, there are two things can happen, right? In the last few seconds, you could land in the basket, and then you could win by a point because you shot at the 3-point line. I don't know, and then you win by a point, right? You just win the game as the time goes out. Everyone would say, "Man, that was a near miss," like as in you nearly lost that. Near miss, you guys got away with it. You're great. However, on the alternative, you could just miss the hoop and then lose the game, and people are like, "Man, near miss." You nearly hit the... You see, it's the same thing, different content. That is the extent of my argument. That's it. That's pretty much all I have. The true answer is it really depends. You said, what are my thoughts on the term near miss? My thoughts are, could be used for good things, could be used for bad things. Positives, negatives. And hold on, I need to Google this term. Who is Wittgenstein? Ludwig Wittgenstein. I'm assuming it's German, which is why I'm pronouncing him with a V. Vienna, Austria. Yep. And that's why he said language works in language games. I'm not too familiar with what that means. At all. Oh, okay. Instead of believing there was an omnipotent and separate logic to the world independent of what we observe, he took a step back and argued that the world we see is defined and given meaning by the words we choose. The world is what we make of it. Is that what you mean, Don? Is that sort of what you mean, or is that like another separate thing? Because I don't have time to do a massive Google right now on like his entire life's work. Like, I'm in the middle of getting like shocked out of my mind out of like Final Fantasy. Like I can only do too many things. But anyway, Taxos, I hope you're happy with your answer.
Well,
you're welcome.
At least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters.
It was one of the answers.
And is Alphinaud still with them?
Of all time. Hey, I thought it was the most perfect response that you could have ever gotten in this situation. And if you want a refund, too bad, I've already taken your points. You're welcome.
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you.
Dang it. I'm really hoping
Beyond
someone knows who he
root out
actually
and
is.
destroy Ascians.
Because for those of you who weren't here when we met Shadowhunter or whatever his name is, my immediate first reaction after seeing his gun and the attacks he used, and again, no one say a single thing. I don't want to see a confirmation. I don't want to see a denial. I don't want to see people smirking. I don't want any hints. But my first initial reaction was, that's Gaius von Baelsar. He's not dead at all. But like, again, don't tell me. I'm waiting for the reveal, you know?
They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphinaud asked to accompany them all the same.
So
Since
you just
parting
left
company
them?
with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's Guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went. Until
Just
we
popcorn because you're
finally
enjoying my
arrived here
theories.
in Alamigo.
I enjoy theorizing. I'm
Commander
just so
Aldin
scared
enough
that someone's
for
gonna like
such an
immediately
unexpected
respond
warm
with like something, and I don't want that. Though generally people have been pretty good on not spoiling stuff, which is nice. Okay.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
Is a philosophical concept developed by referring to simple examples of language used and the actions in which it's woven. He argued the word or even a sentence's meaning only as a result of the rule of the game being played. Hey chat, I lost the game and so did you, I'm so sorry. Depending on the context, for example, the utterance water could be an order, the answer to the question is some other... Yeah! I agree! Everything needs context. I don't know why, like, specifically Thaxos' question made me go, I need more information. But it did, so... Exactly, dude. Exactly. And the popcorn emote's one of those things that, like, very, very rarely does it spoil things. It spoils stuff if nothing's happened yet and people are just like, oh, something's coming up, I'm gonna get the popcorn. Like, that's when it's a little like, okay, maybe wait for something to actually happen so you don't give me a hint. But if something's already going on, if I'm talking about something or whatever, the popcorn is just like, it doesn't reveal a thing, you know? I like it.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you.
I need my own popcorn
During the
emote.
course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single
Charity! How are you, Charity? I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Are you feeling any better? Is possible COVID still kicking your butt? Do you know if it's COVID yet?
It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion.
Dude, that's such a Doom. That's such a brilliant idea. Because what I was originally gonna do, and by do I mean get someone else to do for me because I can't fudging art and that sucks. I was gonna commission someone to just have like my little fudge emote, like eating popcorn. But now I'm like my fudge emote eating popcorn, and then like Pika's head pops out of the popcorn, and then pops back in, and like the animation loops. But now I'm like, will that be too busy? Will people be able to see it? The popcorn's yellow, my bird's yellow. Like, how's that gonna work? But I love the idea. I love the idea. And I'm actually gonna write that down because I know I will forget. I know I will forget, and I'll be so devastated. Okay. Bird popping out of popcorn when fudge eats it goes back in loops. Yep, we'll go with that. Doom, you will be getting idea credit, probably. I don't know. I can't promise anything. I will try to remember, is what I'm trying to say. I am very forgetful.
I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward.
Of course, I have to actually
get
the
my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing
one step at
for
a time.
large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
Hold on. Already? Spedios.
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't.
Raban, you sound like you have an idea. You finally finished all the Realm Reborn Blacksmith leave quest items? Why? Actually, no, actually why? I'm curious. Is it for an achievement? Is there like a reward at the end of it? Is there any reason? Yeah, why? Achievements. Okay, so it is just achievements. You are insane. But we love that about you, Lay. You absolute psychopath. How long did it take?
Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on!
Way too long. Are we talking like hours? Are we talking days and weeks? Talking years? You still got the other... No, you said you've only done Carpenter. So you've done Carpenter, you've done Blacksmith. Then you've got Armorer, Goldsmith, Weaver. Like, it sounds like you're doing the whole thing. Hours. Okay, well that's not too bad, at least. Like, it still sucks and it's a lot of time, but it's an MMO, and tasks only taking up hours is not that bad. You don't even need the little fudge guy. See, I did consider that, right, Doom? The first thing I thought was just Pika popping out and then spilling popcorn. Oh. The thing is, I still wanted to meet the vibe and the general use of the typical popcorn emote, so people can use it as a generic emote for eating popcorn because they're like, you know, in the same way you've been using it, right? I still wanted to meet that type of use, and I'm concerned that changing it up too much means it won't really have the same use case. It probably will, and it's definitely something to workshop, but like that's why my immediate first thought was it being more of a side thing rather than the main thing. I don't know. I need to think about exactly how I'm going to do it. There's also chaos with your storage. That's the one thing I don't like about this game. There is no storage. Like, yes, you have your retainers as your bank, but if you are any sort of crafter, it is impossible. It is absolutely impossible. You don't have a bank at that point. All you have is limited storage. Like... You know what? Okay, you know what I think would be incredibly profitable for Square Enix? And this could be controversial. I think it would be a brilliant idea, right? And hear me out. For those of you who play or have played Elder Scrolls Online, you know of the amazing feature that is the craft bag for all subscribers. For those of you who don't know ESO, essentially when you are a subscriber, you get certain benefits because the game is fully free to play. You don't have to subscribe for anything. But You can subscribe if you want like bonuses and stuff, but the main draw of a subscription that everyone uses is the double bank storage, which is sort of whatever, but the main draw is the craft bag. It's an unlimited bag, completely separate to every inventory, that is for crafting materials only, and it can hold an unlimited amount of crafting materials. And that's the entire point of that bag, and you only get access to it when you're an ESO subscriber. The moment you stop subscribing, you can take things out of the bag, you don't add anything into it. What I am suggesting, you'd love that. Yeah, what I'm suggesting is not to add it into the base subscription, because I feel like obviously that would be completely irrelevant and unimportant. I mean, they can do it and it would be really nice to everyone, but the point is everyone would then get access to it and it won't really be profitable for them because everyone needs a sub anyway. But they already charge for extra retainers, right? You already pay like a couple of bucks to have an extra retainer for some more inventory slots. I am willing to bet a lot of people would pay a fair amount of money just for a crafting materials bag in this game. Separate from retainers, separate to anything else. I am willing to bet a lot of people would actually pay that. Am I saying it's a fantastic idea and everyone will love it? Not necessarily. It might be very controversial. A lot of people might think, oh, they're just charging us for a feature which they should give us for free. I'd understand those opinions. I'm just saying, well, that's the thing. I'm not saying it would be cheap, because obviously people would replace retainers for it. So it'd have to cost more than a couple of retainers to like equalize it, right? But I love the idea of it and I would love that and I would probably pay for it. Crimson, thank you for being here. I appreciate you for hanging out. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night. I forget what time zone you are, but I appreciate you stopping by. Have a great weekend, actually. You'd still buy... Well, that's what I was thinking, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people would buy that and they would appreciate it more than the retainers. And so they could probably price it a fair amount to account for that. I think they'd make so much money from it. But like, as you say, Dom, most people could just buy and sell on the market board and it wouldn't affect them. And it's not a problem. Like, we've had no material storage for the entire lifespan of this game. It would be purely for the people who do a lot of crafting, who would love to have that, who want to pay, right? Infinite storage like a Chocobo saddlebag. I feel like if it was just infinite storage for whatever the fudge you wanted, that would probably be a bit much. For like, they'd probably charge a lot more for that, but like the nice midpoint is just for crafting materials. That would be huge, and I would love the hell out of that. However, could they get it to work with their spaghetti code? Probably not. Yeah, exactly, just for crafting. It would be amazing, it'd be incredible. It'd be so big. Because you can hoard more things. Exactly. And I don't think it would necessarily break the market board too much, because I know a lot of the market board does rely on the fact that people can't be bothered gathering and crafting and all that. So if people had unlimited storage, then less people would probably use it because they'd just stock up on ingredients for whenever they do their gathering, and then they would never use the market board. But again, if it's got a price to it, then a lot of people won't want to make that price. And then a lot of people could absolutely benefit from spending it themselves, and then they could trade to other players and the market board. I don't think it would like actually hinder the market board at all. But I am no economist, so I don't know. Anyway, that was my little rant, my little idea. That's all I'm saying. I'm done now. Send any hate mail my way. I don't know. I know I would love it.
No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with
that too, but I was also thinking more along the lines of, for people who don't want to do a lot of crafting and gathering, would it then make it harder for them to get access to materials and stuff if everyone has unlimited material storage and therefore no one is buying, like there's no demand for items anymore? Was sort of more I was going for. But I don't think that would be the case because it has that price to it, right? And it would be like a thing not every player can afford or even wants, right? So I don't think it would kill the crafting materials market board. Obviously the rest of the market board with like gear and housing will be unaffected. I just meant the materials side. But I would kill for a crafting bag.
You and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this. I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
There'd be demand for that. That's exactly my point. That's why I think it won't affect the market board, because as you said and as I was saying, not everyone will pay for the bag. Not everyone can afford it. So people will still there'll still be demand. So there'll still be supply and people will still make a lot of money. So I don't think it would be an issue. Oh no, again!
Untold sorrow must be changed.
The question is, will Alizé remain at the end of this?
Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
Wait, what if we lose our soul? That would be a plot twist. We lose our soul and we come back like years later, like out of the other end of our coma. World changed. So Alizé's fine.
At least we're both still standing.
My question is, yet again, is Alphinaud getting these? And will he be okay?
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
And that seems to me like they're not targeting Alizé. Or if they are trying to get her, they're not succeeding.
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
And who has the power to do this? Chat. Big Alphinaud's safe for the present at least, unless he's getting these freaking visions. I'm glad at least talked to us visiting, tasked us with visiting Hien. Better to dash place to place and sitting around steering over things we can't change. I agree. Hien, fudging, my goodness. Everything's so expensive. This is just their way of trying to burn money in like endgame from all the back and forth teleports costing over 1,000 gil each fudging quest. But sucks to suck, I have Aetheryte tickets and I don't remember where I got them from, so I don't know how to replenish stock. Probably, I assume I got them from the Grand Company, right? When I get low, I just grab another 100. Oh, actually, I've got 20,000 seals. That's not bad. I just realized it's fudging 9 o'clock. Oh my god, I yapped for a very long time. I'm so sorry. Discussing future endeavors. Kojin Confederacy, you already know, as it was your own strength of arms that won us a cooperation of the Steppe Tribes. Nice, nice. If you knew the millions of high guild level, yeah. It's a small gold sink, but for the people who don't have an FC and don't make a lot of guild, that's a lot of guild to like be throwing around. Well, it's not really a lot of guild, but it is not unsubstantial for the people who don't have Aetheryte tickets and don't have like an FC, right? Like that's 1,000 back and forth every single quest. I reckon I probably, if it weren't for the Aetheryte tickets, I would have burned 30,000 gil just in the post game here. I reckon. I think maybe just for the main story quests that aren't even giving you enough money to pay for it. We've been joined by our neighbors from Nagtia and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca. The scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay the official introduction. So valid. They're like literally in the middle of actually fighting back against Galmald, right? Please tell Hien everything. Okay, so he... Oh. Thank you for bringing me news of Alphinaud. His fate is never far from my thoughts. As for the sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree Alamigo would be wise to show up its borders. Yeah, I mean, we know, but we don't really have much of an opportunity. We don't have many options to actually defend. Every report we receive indicates a massive troops in the western provinces. It's certain that they're poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. I cannot risk sending reinforcements yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall and the burn is in place. That's so valid, unfortunately. Like, that's crucial. We need to get that wall up. Thought to call something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four lords of legend. Perhaps Sir Hughes Aegis or some such. Just a thought. The Ironborg's engineers report they've finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing phase. Have you had time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected ours firsthand. I'd be interested to hear how you think ours compares. Sure. Okay, let's go to the burn. Give money. Oh, they give me 3,000 gil, so I guess it's actually... No, that's not too bad. They are sort of kind of paying a little bit for the teleports. This one won't pay for a single teleport. We'll cross the burn by Yolan Falcon. Join me at the Overlook. The burn hard unlocked. I'm 100% expecting that to happen. That'd be so funny. We just have to do the burn dungeon like again. Although I will say, for post Stormblood, there having been only 3 dungeons so far, and yet apparently we're super close to Shadowbringers. The burn 7, yeah, true. It's just Y'shtola coming back from a little soulless coma, just to burn Magni again, and then go back into a coma. Give the word when you're ready. Let's go. Let's go, chat. I know it's like 9:10, and I usually end stream like 10 minutes ago, but A, it's a Friday. I don't have work tomorrow. And B, I want to get as close to Shadowbringers as I can. Like, if possible, I want to start the next stream in Shadowbringers. I don't know if I'm close enough for that, though. I still don't know how much longer I have left to go. But apparently I'm in the last patch, so it should be soon, theoretically. Unless, there's probably another dungeon, actually.
The engineers have matters well in hand. Should the barrier work as we intend,
if there's another dungeon, I
Doma
won't be
will
able to do it tonight, I don't think, unless it's a really quick dungeon.
Without fear of weakening her own borders.
If the queue is fast, I might be able to do it. If it's not going to be fast, I won't.
Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Here we go. Okay, that looks pretty as hell. Are we gonna see a visible wall? Like, how are we gonna know if it works? Well, it's certainly doing something. There's a wall.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
Oh my god, let's go.
$1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected.
If this works, this is brilliant.
$4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
And it's invisible too? I was gonna say, what's to stop them from like just going above? Like, do we know how high their ships can go? Like, maybe 5,000 is their limit, but like, what if they can go 7,000 yards? But if the barrier is invisible, then they have no reason for going any higher. And that's big, right? Uh-oh. Are we gonna see it in action?
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
Let's hope that none of our friendlies are on it.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wall for us.
Plot twist, it's actually got ambassadors from the Popularis. Okay, so they get stunned by it. Hope they don't get hit. So it's a safe landing.
Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
Emergency landing! It's not a crash. Honestly, it didn't even look like an emergency landing. It looked like a normal landing. Who's inside? Is it Shadowhunter dude? It looks like Shadowhunter dude. Oh my god, it's Alize. So Alize. Sorry, it's blue Alize. Sorry guys, blue Alize. Oh my god. Wait, guys, did he have the vision? And then he probably had the vision.
What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
You won't be able to get past the barrier.
Lower the barrier.
We can't do it, sir. I remember how no one... Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, it probably hit Alphino, didn't it? Like, that's the first thing I noticed when he went unconscious. I was like, ah, fudge, it got him too.
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
No, not him too.
Thank God the barrier didn't blow anyone up, though. That would have been so funny. We turn the barrier on, it blows up, and they end up dead.
No cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions.
You know him. Who is he?
Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Please reveal yourself as Gaius. I'll be so happy. I'm happy. I immediately pinged it.
Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished.
I like... How does he do it? It's... It was literally, I saw his gunblade and went, I wonder if I know this guy. Then he was being really like not saying anything about his name. He did the same attacks Gaius did, and I was like, it's gotta be him. Then he said he has history with our, like with the Scions. And I was like, that if it has to be. I love this game. I love this game. Like, even though I knew, like, it is very hard to pull off a surprise big reveal on something if someone already works it out, right? But even though I already worked it out, I still think this is the coolest reveal. But maybe I'm biased because I want it to be right. I don't know. But I'm happy.
Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
That might have also been the same stream that I... Oh no, it wouldn't have been the same stream. There was also like around the same time that I pulled the whole primal summoning thing with Yotsuyu. Like, it didn't happen exactly how it did, but I feel like I'm on a roll right now. I feel like I'm doing really great, and it's probably gonna end at some point soon, but I will bask in this victory while I can.
Impossible. There's no way you could have survived.
Do you remember how it unfolded?
I remember your fudging super long yap session that rivals my own streams. I remember the fudge. I forgot the actual quote that he says. The power thing. What was the quote where he's like, "This destruction." Fudge. I don't remember the quote. Someone in chat will say it. It's a meme. My brain not worky.
How I was deceived by La Habrea. How I was convinced that
such devastation. Thank you, Don.
Would
Yes.
allow me to bring peace to Eorzea. The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment, at least.
You're disappointed he was just evil? I know. I know. I was like, I really badly wanted that whole like political situation idea I had going on. I really wanted that. And he just became evil and I was like, okay. But I did really love the whole primal like summoning like plot that they had. Exactly. I had everything. Not every villain needs proper reasons. No, well, and that's a good thing, but like sometimes you do need a villain who has reasons, right? Sometimes you do. Sometimes people are just jerks. Exactly. And I do appreciate that. Yeah, I had all the points and I was like, it's Asahi, but it was actually Maxima who was actually the good guy the whole time, and Asahi wanted to like sabotage the... I mean, I still think I got the right idea of like the Popularis being actually real and someone wanting to sabotage the events. That's still correct. Asahi was just the person who wanted to sabotage because he didn't actually believe, whereas Maxima did believe. So like, as you say, Doom, I basically got it. And I love it when games will do that, when you can actually, because they tell their stories so well and they do their foreshadowing. A good story will foreshadow and set up things to the extent where you can work out what's happening. You might not get all the exact details, but you can figure things out, and because it makes sense and it pays off. And even though you work stuff out, it still is great, even if the surprise is ruined. That's what a good story does. And there have been so few games and just pieces of media in general that can really pull it off. So I am like thrilled with the storytelling of this game so far. I don't think I've experienced much like it at all because of that. This game does it so well, and I love that. Okay. I'm sure you were. It's
a moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause.
And then there's this guy's thing as
It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble and swore vengeance on the Ascians.
I love that. I love to hear that, Doom. That makes me happy.
The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now.
I also love the redemption arc from Gaius. See, this is a villain that did have proper reasons, realized he was actually wrong and screwed up, and is now actually actively striving to do better. That's so cool too. That I love to see that. You don't really, I mean, you see it a lot, but it's not always done well.
My principal quarry was to be La Habrea.
Well, no, he's not striving to necessarily do better, but he has recognized revenge isn't better. You're right. But as I said, you don't, well, maybe I didn't say, but the redemption arc doesn't need to be perfect, right? Like, yes, he's still doing it for revenge, but that just makes him a more complex individual. And he's willing to put aside his past grievances and work with us because he recognizes the Ascians are bad. Because that's the thing, he's also said that they were bad and they used him to summon their horrible god. Like, he's actively acknowledged that it would be bad for them to exist. So it's, yes, it's partly revenge, but he also understands that it is also the right thing to do. So there's like a bit of both.
More remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows,
Bringers,
laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the Scions not of like mind?
Also, this is the second time that one of the big villains, Garleans from the 13th Legion. This is the second time that one of them has decided to turn around and actually work with us to accomplish their goals. And if I had a penny for every time, I'd only have 2 pennies, but it's weird it's happened twice. I really stretched out that joke and stumbled on my words, but I think my point stands. Gaius and Nero.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-Masked Ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know.
I also want to know how he found all this. Oh, he probably already knew this because he worked with La Habrea, who probably told him stuff.
Yet among the
Maybe.
red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source.
What does that mean?
Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the source.
How do you know that? Because that was after you were defeated. You would have had no contact with the Garleans, and you were no longer in league with La Habrea. And by that point, you'd already decided to, like, how did you get this information? How did you know he intruded upon the Rising Stones? He has to have, like, is he still in contact with the Ascians? That doesn't make sense. Alphino told it, oh yeah. So, as you can see, my intelligence has, like, boundaries. I can work out the fudging complicated plot stuff, but simple brain things are beyond me. Beyond my comprehension.
The first was La Habrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Habrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us?
Correct.
As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit.
Oh, really? That's
As
boring.
emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets.
I think after this cutscene, I will be calling it a stream, unfortunately.
It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy
Unless I'm
came
literally a
across
quest
the
away
scene
from the
of a
next
failed
patch.
uprising.
But
in the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
oh, absolutely.
Put your fears to rest.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself.
That you know of.
Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch.
What if there was a secret second?
Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno Galvus.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. Tis bad comedy.
I think it's great. Someone at Square Enix had a laugh writing that.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized.
Didn't I mention clones at some point as well being a thing that probably was a thing?
And what should we find in each and every incubator?
Oh.
But a young Emperor Solus.
But if he's an Ascian that can just rebirth himself whenever the fudge he wants, why does he need an army of clones? Does he have to repossess himself for it to work?
All of which prompts the question.
Yeah.
Were the Ascians responsible
No, I remember that,
for
Don.
these abominations?
Because...
Or was it the will of the Emperor?
Because the two royal bloodline people, whatever, with the red eyes, they were clones.
I must know which hand guides the Empire.
The Ascians.
Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for
That's
the
the
future of my
conclusion I'm
homeland.
drawing, Doom, is it's like he probably just wants to have an easier way to like revive himself every time he dies. But I'm also like, he doesn't technically need one. But I guess it's like if he wants to keep retaining the same body. I don't know how it works exactly, but like that's where my mind's going.
It is time I return to the hunting of shadows.
Bring us. Sorry.
We should
I'm
focus
sorry.
on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
Is it my decision? Me? Why is this mine? This should not be... I was just a foot soldier.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods. Even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again.
This is also true, Doom. I technically am the leader now. It's crazy. And terrifying. Very terrifying, actually.
So
Hi,
that
Dylan,
was the
please.
infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least.
Sorry, Ken, it was very expected. I knew exactly what was happening. But I guess that's a bit meta of me.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
Okay, cool, bye. Let's see if this is a quest I can turn in. Yeah. We'll turn it in and then call it a stream. Alphino safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him. You won't find anything. There are no outward signs of illness. He's in a lost sleep from which he cannot be awoken, just like the others. Even the lands of the Empire were not far enough away to escape that voice. Okay. The arrangements we made a little time to make them. Now that we know what Sir Yu's war works as intended, can we expect reinforcements from Alamigo? They will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magic, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage from which the smaller vessels favor. Did I not have airships? Do we not have airships? I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Alderman Trading Company to find ships. As for navigating the distances, we are in a happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely our friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I'm certain they will afford Alphino a berth aboard one of their vessels. Okay, so he's going to come to the Rising Stones again. I wonder if Alizé is also going to be knocked out, or if she needs to remain our like sole anchor to talk to. Because if we don't have Alizé, then the Warrior of Light's going to have no one to speak to about all the plans for the Scions and saving. You don't think they can travel that far? No, that's fair. I have no idea what the distance is between the two countries. Continents. Yeah, they probably need like pit stops or something. Otherwise they'll have to run out of fuel and make an emergency landing in the ocean. Enlist all those capable of teleportation and put them at the disposal of the Eorzeans. Yeah, exactly. These in the Alliance leaders will be glad to welcome the combined strength of the East. Oh. Second cutscene. Meanwhile, the Black Rose chemical plant. Oh boy. The one that we supposedly... Sorry, the one that they supposedly destroyed. Supposedly.
Our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
That's so quick!
See that you do.
They said they didn't think it'd be possible, and yet.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
Shut up, Solus.
With no gift for
You're just a
sorcery,
clone.
we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
How very noble of you.
Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler.
Oh yeah, Rutsky.
Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
Oh, he is taunting him.
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect.
This is true. But unfortunate.
Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
What is he going to do then? He's got plans.
While you do what, precisely?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know. None of your business, he says.
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
Which is?
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire.
I don't think he cares, actually. He's not oblivious. He knows what's going to happen.
You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise.
I'm confused. Is he an Ascian, or is he... I mean, your mortal demise... Is he just talking about the first time his original body died? As opposed to the clones he inhabits? Like, what's... Did he die at Dalamud? Or did he die during the thing?
Was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed.
Yes, okay. So it was the his first death.
Collapse.
Are you truly so naive?
He did before the calamity. Yeah, no. After he said that about his the Civil War, I was like, never mind. This is separate.
You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
Also, he's probably like super old anyway, and 5 years is not. Of course, that was dumb. The calamity was only 5 years ago. He was gone long before then. I'm silly.
It was by design?
Of course it was. Of course it was design.
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed.
I don't know what that means. What are you going to do, bud? Shoot him again?
Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way.
He's actually going to go out into the open, and he's going to like reveal himself as being the revived first
we may
emperor.
not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude. I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies
so that's pretty much what we were talking about before, Don.
Fashion is so much less tiresome. You dabbled in elegant cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research.
I love that, Doom. I love that.
And of all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus, like grandsire, like grandson, hey?
Hey.
If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
What? I'm just imagining he's just gonna be shot again. It'd be funny. Just every time he leaves like a cutscene, Emperor just shoots him. Okay. This is a next stream thing because I don't have time at the moment. It is 9:40 p.m. I've streamed 40 minutes longer than usual because this game is so good. So good. I know I have Yakuza planned for tomorrow night, but to be completely honest, I might just play more of this instead. Like I'm at the end of Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers at the end of Stormblood. I have to. I have to do it. I'm doing it. I'm playing this tomorrow. I'm telling everyone in Discord after I end stream that schedule's being moved around because I'm not waiting to see what happens next. I'm not. I'm impatient. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Can't wait. For now, though, we're gonna go see his live because I don't know. I don't have a reason. I'm ending stream and we're saying hi to someone before the ads roll. Exactly, and I love that. I love that this game does that so well. Like, it doesn't frustrate me. It just gets me eager and excited to like find out. Right? It's so good. It's done so well. It's so good. Who are we gonna raid tonight? That is the question. I don't know who we're gonna raid. Vicky is playing Marvel Rivals. Tama's playing Fortnite. We haven't said hi to Tama in a while. Julia's just playing Warzone. Blitzhart's playing Minecraft. And Kimbu is playing Peak. Do we have any preferences, chat? we have choices and decisions and options. Maybe we raid Kimbu? Because I think we haven't raided Kimbu like the longest. I think we raid Kimbu. I've decided. I have made my decision. Chat, if you don't know Kimbu, Kimbu is a fantastic Australian streamer friend of ours. He's been streaming for quite some time, and we've known him for a while. I know that doesn't explain literally anything because I'm just really bad at like saying things. I'm bad at this. Anyway, Kimbu is playing Peak. I don't know much about it, but it looks like it's about climbing a mountain. Turbo, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You've probably gotten spoiled on so much, Turbo. That sucks. But thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate the rest of you hanging out as well. It's been a fantastic stream. I'm loving this game so much every time. Go say hi to Kimbu. Use your raid messages as appropriate. The top one is for subs. The bottom one is for non-subs. Go send Kimbu all of your love and support. I'll catch you all in tomorrow's stream where we find out where this goes next. Because I want to know so badly. And I don't want to wait any longer than I have to. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your night or day. And I'll catch you all later. Appreciate all of you. You're all amazing. Go say hi to Kimbu. And goodbye. I don't know why I do this little thing every time. How do I end a stream? I don't know.